Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing great on this Sunday. It's a relatively nice day, a little bit cold, but not too bad. What's it like in your area? Okay, I just shared this to the group. Hi, Julie. Welcome. What kind of weather do you guys have? It's kind of clear here. A little bit cold, but not too bad. I had a nice day. Hi, Jean. Colder. It was colder yesterday, and then today, at least when I walked Darcy this afternoon, it was not quite so cold. But I checked a lot of things off of my list today. I filled out my ballot so I can send it in. I think I'm going to drop it off in one of the drop boxes. Wrote out a sympathy card, which has been on my list for a little while. I fixed up the Ring camera so it worked on my mom's phone again. Submitted a grant. I'm so excited about that. So I submitted a grant application. So hoping I get that. Let's see, did I do anything else? Oh, I washed 2 loads of laundry and put them away. Can you believe it? I washed and put away the same day, which is not typical for me. And I recorded 3 videos for TikTok. And I did a voiceover for my YouTube Hop video next week. So, I mean, I really got a lot done. Hi, Mom. Listing everything out like that made me realize I did have a pretty productive day. My YouTube Hop. And now we're going to make these cards. Who's excited about making these cards? I'm calling these easy center step cards. It's kind of a faux, I would say faux center step card. So I'm really looking forward to these. If you want to craft along, you just need a little bit of cardstock and some designer series paper and then some kind of ephemera. Yeah, I walked Darcy twice too today. So I did get a lot done. So, we are going to be making these center step cards, as I said. Easy, I'm calling them easy. They're kind of like, remember when I made those lounge chair cards? They're kind of like that, but then they have the center step. And I think that having the center step, it helps them stay upright a little bit better. They don't slide quite as much. So, but I am using the Hobby Haven suite. We did a scrapbook layout last week. I remember, well, it might have been, was it last week? I think so. So this one's did stitches in time. We used the like sewing one. So this card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Although I will say this card is not 5.5. I made a mistake and I cut it 6 inches. But I fixed it on this one. It is 5.5. It will fit into an A2 size card. So it does fit into an A2 size card. These ones are a little bit too long. But we will make them like that. Okay, so let me show you, if you weren't here last week, to see the Hobby Haven suite. I've used it for a lot of things, so I'm getting down there. But let's see. So there's like a book theme. And I did use some of this on this card, right? A birthday for the books. And the back is these fun, like, splotchy cards. Okay. You can see I fussy cut out I think this was the lamp and then this was the book. So I fussy cut that out. Remember we have I think I have a whole one of these. We've got this, like, I don't know, I guess plant lovers. I'm calling it kind of the living room set. So we've got this. And the back is, I think that's petal pink. I don't know. Can you see the petal pink? It's like a window pane. Okay, and then this one, you too can fussy cut out. You can see I did fussy cut some pieces out. And I used one last week on the scrapbook layout, but I also used it on this card. So I fussy cut some pieces out for that. And then there is sewing. Let's see what I've got. So this is a nice strip for the sewing. Hi, Dawn. This is a nice strip that shows, the sewing machine and some yarn. It's kind of like fiber arts, I'd say. The back is this Lost Lagoon random splotchy dots. And I made a card with this. This one. The back of the book one reminds you of your parents' old kitchen floor in the 50s. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I know it. I've seen a lot of the 50s things that have the, like, almost like boomerang shapes. These are a little more, these are like, looks kind of like coffee drips and stuff, but not all the right color for coffee drips, but that's what it reminds me of. And then there is this cooking one. So cute. Little espresso machine, a little KitchenAid mixer, a scale, ice cream scoop, some eggs, some really cute things. And then the back is this green checkerboard. I think that would be good, like, for St. Patrick's Day. I might keep that in mind when I do my live for St. Patrick's Day. And then what this suite has, which I love, a lot of the suites seem to be having this more and more. Let me get rid of these, like, pieces so you can see what I'm talking about. So, got all this stuff here. Okay, there we go. Like I said, I've used a lot of this, so it's kind of coming apart. But there are 3. I should probably punch all these out now because I've used so many. But there are 3 sheets that have these, like, ephemera pieces that you could punch out and that go with the theme. So there's like this. This would be cute with the espresso machine. Maybe I'll use that. Espresso machine and the coffee cup. There's the little mixer, there's books. There's the light, like I didn't need to fussy cut out, but I wanted to show you that you could fussy cut them out if you needed to. So there's 3 sheets of these. So many cute little things. Like this would be cute. This would be cute for one of the cards. Let's see, I'll keep those out. Oh, look at this. There's a camera. Dawn, you can make a camera card on this. I don't know what else you would put with it, but some books. Here's a little apron. This would be cute with the cooking stuff. Let's see, what else is there? Oh, there are some plants. So we could use some plants if we want to. Oh, there's this little art, you know, set. I think would go cute with these. Oh, and a little palette. Those are called palettes, right? Some books, coffee, tea. I even like this. They have these like, let me pull this off. They have these like white ones, so you could ink them up whatever color you want. So I really like that. Okay. Okay, so you guys, let me know what you think. What should I use? Should I do a book themed one? Should I do a kitchen themed one, an art one? There was the sewing, like I have the sewing machine. I did make sure I left this one. I had the sewing machine and the mannequin. So I could do that one again. What do you guys think? Because then that will determine what colors I use for my base. There's some flowers, which are nice. So I've used these punch outs for, look how many there are. I mean, there's just so many. So many. I'm gonna have to organize these now that this is my last live with this set, I think. So, okay, vote on what theme we should do. Which of these, or a different one if we want to do like the art or the coffee pot, or you know, the espresso, or the cooking with the KitchenAid and that kind of stuff. Oh, you did talk me out of the kitchen one. Okay, let's see. Let's pick some things for the kitchen. I can send it to maybe to Michaela. So there's these ones, but there's also I like the mixer, although now I didn't bring those colors. I brought all of these colors. Let's see, the mixer. And we can also fussy cut from the packs. I thought there was like a, oh, I love the embroidery set. Okay, here. There's these. So we could cut these pieces out. What do you think? Do we do the kitchen? You want to do the kitchen? We could do that. Okay. You like the apron? Okay, yeah, the apron. Okay, so let's do, I think I'm going to do the apron and maybe cut out the, some of these things. Like the muffin tin, this, we'll see. I like the little blender too. Teapot, I love that. Okay, so let me find a card base color. I happen to have a bunch of green paper here because I made, for my YouTube video next week, the theme was monochromatic and I did green for St. Patrick's Day. So I do have all of this here. So we could probably use this. So let's get the cutting guide. I'll kind of move all this stuff. So I'll do maybe the green and then an espresso. What do you think about that? Okay, so for the first piece, for the card base, calling this the card base, like the lounge chair, you need a piece that is 4 1/4 by 12. Okay, so let's cut that. So you do need a sheet that's 12 by 12. So 4 1/4 by 12. Okay. And then we score it at, let me see how, I scored it at 4 1/2. And then 9. 4 1/2 and then 9. Okay. Let's see. 4 1/2. And then 9. And then for the lounge chair part, these are both 1 1/2 inches. So we're going to score this at 10 1/2. Okay. So 4 1/2, 9, 10 1/2. Okay. Okay, so then let's score along, fold along the score lines. I'm gonna burnish it pretty well. Okay, so this first one, the first 4 1/2, the first 4 1/2, I did a mountain fold. And then this one is going to be a valley fold. I'm gonna fold it kind of up. And then this one goes back down, kind of as a mountain fold. So mountain, valley, mountain. Okay. Okay. So then for the paper, the designer series paper, I cut this, let's see, 4 inches by 4 1/4. 4 inches by 4 1/4. So the 4 inches is this way, and then the 4 1/4 is this way. So let's see, let's pick out our pieces first so that I know what we're going to be using. So we said the recipe book. Where's the recipe? Oh, here's the recipe book, right? The recipe book. Okay, I'll cut that out. And I want something kind of this mossy meadow. I'm using my mossy meadow here. So I want something mossy meadow. Okay. And then I'm going to use probably pecan pie. But I want something else that is probably the coffee pot. What do you think? Well, that's not really cooking, right? The blender? You think I should do the blender? The blender or the espresso machine? Which one's baking? I guess I could do like these. The bundt cake is cool. I just wanted to try and tie it into the green. I think I'm going to cut this because the size, well, I don't know, because you don't really need that for cooking. I wish there was something bigger. We could do the KitchenAid. What about the actually, there's not that many whole KitchenAids there. Oh, but we have the mixer. I guess I can do the mixer. What if we do the mixer and then I'll do the bundt cake pan and then we'll see how it goes. Should have maybe done petal pink. You think that would have been too much pink? Okay, what do we think about these? Now I'm thinking maybe a different color there. This is Cajun Craze. Let me cut that one real quick and then we'll see. Hi Diana, the oven mitt has green. Let's look at the oven mitt before I cut this one out. Yeah, I did see that, but like this one, let me see. This one, I had the tall thing, which I was thinking like this could be, and then I had a bigger piece here and then like a smaller. But I could do like the mixer and the bowl and then the cookbook. So I think I can make it work. So let's try this with, we'll do this real quick. And then we'll see. We might have time to make another one since we're kind of using ephemera. And if so, we'll use the green. We'll do maybe the spa. So what did I say? 4.5, 9, oh, that's 8, 9, and then 10.5. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so now we have to decide what paper we're going to be using. I said 4 by 4.25. We could use this one. I didn't come prepared for this color scheme, so. Okay, let's do this one. I think this will be best for these. So what did I say? I said 4 by 4.25. That'll be here. And then these ones are one and a quarter by 4. And if you use something like this that has a design, I made sure that I carried the design sort of straight down, right? I kept them in place. Hi, Lynn. So I kept them in place. Okay. So I'm just going to cut down, 1.25, and then 1.25. So that way you kind of keep the continuity of the paper. But this one, it doesn't matter too much because it's just this checkerboard. And actually, even on this one, I use different paper. I use a different paper there for that than that one. So you could do that too. Okay, so let's adhere this down. Okay. And remember, this looks almost like a square, but it's not. One side is taller than the other. And you want to put it on the second piece, okay? Because the card's going to sit up like this, okay? So this is the back of it. So I'm going to put this here and center it right like that. And then do these pieces. Okay. And I am trying to line up the sides, right? Now you could put a piece of white on the back for to sign. However, you are going to be putting the center step piece attached to it. So, you know, you're not really going to be able to stamp any kind of sentiment there. So, you know, I would maybe, if you're going to put something, put a white strip on here. So I'm just going to leave the back plain for right now. Okay. Okay, now let's make the center step card part. And I think on all of these, I use the same color as I did for the base. Okay, like I use Cajun Craze. Here I use Espresso and Espresso. Here I used Lost Lagoon and Lost Lagoon. So I'm going to use some Cajun Craze here. And this piece, let me measure the width of it. This piece is 2 inches by 11. So I'm going to cut this at 2 inches. I mean, you could actually cut it whatever width you want. But if you want it to look like mine, I would do the 2 inches. You don't want it to be too large. And then I'm going to cut off 1 inch here because you want the piece to be 11. So you could use an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, but I already have this here and cut. And then I'm going to score at 5.5. Okay, so that should be right down the middle. You could technically just fold it. Okay. Okay, so when we do this, you can see it doesn't go all the way, flat. I think this one does. But you'll see I didn't put it all the way down to the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to adhere it to the front of this part, okay? And so I'm going to, remember this is 1.5 inches, so I'm going to add adhesive to about 1 inch of it. You may want to use something stronger like Stampin' Seal Plus or score tape. It's up to you. So I'm lining up my card, centering it right on the 6-inch line. And then I'm going to take the part that I have the adhesive on, and I'm going to center it right on the 6 inches. So it should go from 5 inches to 7 inches here. I'm going to line it up. Okay, and then you want it to be straight. Okay. Okay. And now I'm going to adhere it. You can see I didn't adhere it all the way. I just put about 1 inch of adhesive just like on the front. If you want it to open up flat, like this one doesn't, but I put it from end to end, okay? This one does, folds flat, but I didn't put it all the way down to the bottom. So what I'm going to do is put adhesive. Sorry, I had to sneeze. I'm going to put adhesive on the inch here. Fold the card completely. And then fold this over, and it should meet right up at the bottom there. Okay? Okay, so now we have the card base pretty much ready. And you can see why I'm calling it an easy center step card, because it kind of looks like a center step card, but we kind of cheated by just putting this strip here. Okay, so again, this is 2 inches. This is 5.5, 5.5. So this piece was cut at 11 inches. Okay, and now you can kind of just decorate it how you want. I'm going to cut out 2 circles, one, and I think you should do a different color cardstock, but again, it's up to you what you want to do, and then a piece of white. So my circles that I used were 3 inches is the cardstock, and then 2.5 is the white. Okay, so let me get my circle dies here. So yeah, this is the 3-inch one, and I think I'm going to use, these are the colors that we're doing. So what did I say, pecan pie? Did I have something else cut? Okay, so I think I'm going to do this color. What do we think? Yeah, I think that's going to look good. So let's cut this out. I'm going to use my stamp cut and emboss machine. One of the best purchases that I've made from Stampin' Up. Okay, let's cut this. That was a 3-inch piece. And then when I say 2.5, I think I have one cut already because I cut a couple. Yeah, I'm going to just use this. I've already got it cut. Save us a little bit of time. Okay, so let's attach the white to the pecan pie. But yeah, you're right, it fits the theme, so that's perfect. Okay, and so before you put these on, I had to, you know, I wanted this to be a little bit above where the card base sits, but obviously not quite up to the top of this. So I think it's easiest to do it while it's closed like this, and then put it on, you know, kind of where you want it. So when we add adhesive, you're not going to add it to, you know, kind of the very edges of this. Okay, so we're going to leave the edges free. Okay, then when we put this on, we're going to be really careful that we don't get adhesive on the card back, because you don't want it to stick. Now, if I feel like under here on the circle, it does not, it's not sticky at all. Okay, and then we just put our pieces, and you can see here, I glued this one right to the circles, but then these ones, this one and this one, I popped up. So let's kind of see how we're going to arrange this. Here's the apron. let me fussy cut out my bundt pan. Oh, the other piece was a recipe book, yeah. I'm generally not a person who likes to fussy cut. However, when I have these papers that I can fussy cut out these shapes, for some reason I don't mind, like I don't mind cutting this out. I don't mind this at all. I don't know why. I don't know why sometimes I don't like it, but when you have these fun shapes and that, it doesn't bother me. But if I had to fussy cut around a stamped image or something, oh, it would be torture. Okay. Hey, this kind of goes with my food-themed study abroad. I should send this to myself to say congratulations on your new food-themed study abroad. Okay, I got that and that. Let's see if there's anything else on here that we want to cut out. So we're kind of going for a cake baking theme, it seems like, because we got the bundt cake. I think the oven mitt would be cute, but that was with the green. There's this little thing. Oh, what about the, well, I don't really want to add the blue. I don't want to add the blue color to it. We could maybe put these on there. Well, let's put these on and then we'll decide if we need anything else. Okay, so I'm going to put this here like that. I did bring over my little, here we go. Now, before I glue this down, I want you to pay attention. Like on this one, this mannequin went over the top of that, so I didn't like put adhesive at the top or like down here because it went over the edge. So as you're doing this, make sure that you watch that wherever you put adhesive, it's not going to go over the edge of the circle because you don't want it to stick to the card base. So let's put this here. This is probably good enough. Okay, let's put this one straight down and then we'll pop up the bundt cake pan. Okay, and I do have my dimensionals. Okay. Oh, I have the mixer too. That's what it was, the mixer. Okay, before I do that, I want to see about the mixer. Yeah, I like the mixer better. Oh, okay. Let's put the mixer first, because that's the whole reason why I did the Cajun Craze. I knew there was something else there. We'll put that on maybe too. But I wanted the mixer. Okay, now let's pop this up. Okay. These are the mini dimensionals. There we go. Okay, now I stamped something at the bottom here, and I used the on display set. I think I'm going to do the treat yourself. What do you think? That's probably best with the cake, treat yourself. could do You Deserve All the Good Stuff, but I haven't used Treat Yourself. I did You've Been on My Mind, A Birthday for the Books, and You Deserve All the Good Stuff. So let's stamp this. I have to go get my Cajun Craze. Treat Yourself. Okay. Let me get some Cajun Craze. I feel like you guys throw me off every week. I have some certain thing planned and then we go off script. Okay, so I have some white. And I think I haven't used this one before, so I'm going to rub it. Oh, Mick, I was going to send this to you. Now you're on here. Put the mixer over the bundt cake. Yeah, that's cute. I'm not going to move it because it's down there pretty good. It's pretty much over there. It's kind of like Anthony's mixing stuff up. Okay, I'm going to stamp this kind of in the middle. Oh, I kind of moved it, but yeah, that's okay. And then for these ones, you know, I kind of just cut them. So these are pretty much like 3 inches. So let's start that way, 3 inches. And then I'm going to try and center this. It's a little bit not straight, so I'm going to try and cut it straight. There, treat yourself. So I'm cutting this about 3/4 of an inch. Okay. Now on these, I dovetailed the ends, but I was thinking, I have this stamp or punch that makes these sort of edges, so I thought let's try this maybe. I don't know. Okay, let's see how this goes. Oh, I don't think I did that. Okay, that time it cut. So look how it did a cute little edge. Let's do this side. No, it didn't. There we go. Cute little edge. Okay, I think I really like that. And then this one, I did, on all of these, I popped it up. I just had here we go, the dimensionals, so I threw it in the pile there. You don't have to pop it up if you don't want to, if you're afraid it's going to be too thick to go through the mail. Okay. Now let me get my Picket tool. Okay. Plop this on here. I could have done that in a pecan pie too, I guess. I'm feeling like I need one little thing here that's more brown or something. How about, what do you think about the mixing cups? What do you think? Are those too big, or the sprinkle? Well, that's, the sprinkles are not. Do you think it looks okay? You think it's too pink? No, we want pink. I could either put the mixing cups, or I could cut out this spatula. Well, let's just see without. We'll see. I do have these gems that are kind of pecan pie. This is called pecan pie and clear ribbon adhesive back dots. These are retired, I think, so you won't be able to get them, but they'll work okay. Okay, so let's put one there. I put one here. And then one down here. So this will kind of give a little bit more of the pumpkin pie. Oops, what did I do with that? These ones are really sticky adhesive on here. Okay, there we go. This is cute though, treat yourself. I'm glad we went with that saying. What do you think? Really cute. Oh, the eggs? There was eggs. I think there was eggs. The eggs are here. I could cut out the eggs. Let's see how that looks. I'm going to use this one because it's close to the edge. But now we're introducing that kind of, I don't know what color that is. Like a gray. We'll see. Let's see how that is. And then if it works, we'll do a quick one with that green. So while I'm finishing this up, tell me what you think. Should we do an art one with the green, or should we do the coffee, the espresso machine and that? What do you think? Should I put the eggs down there? Eggs, no eggs. Vote. Eggs or no eggs. Let me see about the coffee. Anyone voting? Okay, while we're thinking about that, let's quickly do this one. Again, this piece of cardstock is 4 1/4 by 12. I scored it at 4 1/2, 9, 10 1/2 to make this lounge chair card. Then we need a piece. Is this the same? Yeah. Then we need a piece that's 2 inches by 11. I just love this suite so much that I have to make another card. These are so cute. There's so many things on here. I could also do a spa. It makes the cake pan stand out more. I think you're right. Okay, let's score this at 5 1/2. Because this is 11, 5 1/2 by 11. Okay, before I do that, let's go back and put the eggs on there. Michaela wants eggs, so I'm going to end up sending this to Michaela for something. I already sent Anthony's birthday card, so he's not getting this for his birthday. Okay, let's put this right here. Okay. Okay, so what color should we use for this? But again, let's figure out what we're going to do for here. We could do the spa stuff. But I'm leaning towards, I really want to use that espresso machine. That's been on my mind, so let's use that. Oh, and you know what, maybe, well, I don't know if that muffin doesn't match very well, but. I am going to use the coffee bean there too. Espresso, coffee bean, and then a mug. What do you think? And then, let's see, is there any cute mugs here? There's this mug, but that's a pretty small mug. Maybe we need a muffin. Where did that muffin go? Here. Because you need a muffin with your coffee, right? Let me make sure there isn't one in the ephemera. There was a coffee, like a to-go cup, right? There was a to-go cup. So let's find that to-go cup. I said this was going to be fast, and now here I am looking through all this stuff. Oh, but I'm going to get this muffin here. I'm definitely going to get this muffin. Because it matches better. Okay, so now let's figure out, what do you think about, well, we have this if we like get desperate. We have this. What should we use for a paper? I have to think about the. Oh, I know what we could use. Came upon this. Let's see if any of this looks good. That's maybe too dark. I'm not using that color. This isn't what I went over there for, but when I saw that, I knew it was the same kind of colors. Yeah, well, this isn't too bad. What do you think about this one? What I was going to say is the backs of these are really nice. Like kind of a neutral thing. So I might use this. Okay. So we need one piece that's 4 by 4 1/4. So let's cut this at 4. And then 4 1/4. And then there was 1 1/4. And 1 1/4. Okay, I'm going to use this unless you think I should use that leafy color. Oh, you think something wood tone? I do have something wood tone, like the coffee bean. How about if we do that for the circle? Okay, so let's adhere this down. And remember, this is 4 by 4 1/4. So make sure you have the 4 1/4 up and down. And we're going to center it on this inside piece. Okay. This piece we're leaving blank because it's the back. Okay. And then let's put these down. Remember I told you to keep them in order, and I was talking and didn't pay attention, but it doesn't matter too much. Trying to line up the side. And then do the front. Okay, like I said, you want to try and line these up. Okay, now we have the piece that's 2 inches by 11 and that we scored at 5 1/2, so that this is going to fit into the A2 size card. And I'm going to adhere just about 1 inch of the bottom there. Okay. And I just cleaned off my mat today. Okay, so let's center this card around the 6 inches mark. If you do that, this piece should fit right between the 5 and the 7. You don't want to go over about, that's kind of crooked. You don't want to go over about 1 inch because you don't want adhesive, you know, to be here, to stick out. Okay. And then on the back, we're going to put adhesive here, about 1 inch. And with this close, I'm going to just kind of fold it along, and it should hit right at the bottom there. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now for the circle, let's do the espresso. I know I had cut a piece of espresso here. Let's make room for our stamp cut and emboss machine. And I'm cutting this at 3 inches. Okay. And then I am going to have to cut a piece of white. I only had one. Well, no, wait, I have another one cut. Look at me, I was ahead of the game, so. Okay, we're good. Okay, let's just adhere this down, and then we're almost, you can see how fast these go together. Now, this one you can adhere all the way down. It's kind of hard to see on this black, but okay. And we're going to put this on here and kind of center it. We want it to, I like it where it pops up over the top of this piece a little bit. See how it extends behind? Because it seems more centered with the top and the bottom here. I'm going to add adhesive, but only add it like from here to here, right? Leave the sides with no adhesive so that it doesn't stick to the, you know, the side of the card. Okay. I'm just eyeballing it a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's trim this guy up. There, I found the coffee cup. I don't know if that's going to be too similar, but we'll see. Fussy cut around this, and I'm going a little bit faster than I would, just because I'm live, and I don't, you know, guys don't want to watch me cut. There was a pop-out one of these, right? There is some ephemera, but the ephemera one was like Lost Lagoon color, and I wanted the green color because we had already cut out the green. Okay, so I got that. This was a pop-out, this was a pop-out. Let's cut the coffee beans. Hey Mick, check your mail this week because I did send Anthony's card, so at least check it before Saturday. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can put these on here to look good. And I think I need one more thing, because that seems like an odd or an even number. I guess I could put this coffee cup here too, but I don't want that to cover up. Okay. We're just going to stick them all down. We'll pop a couple up. But you should kind of have an odd number, so that's why I'm going to throw in that coffee. Let's put these like that. I like the little coffee bean on here. Okay. And these ones I'm going to pop up. So just a fun little design. I tell you, I think my favorite might be that living room. The living room one, I don't know why, but I just love that one. I'll show you again before we finish. But you see how fast this one went together once we kind of decided what we were going to do. And you can spend more time like really trying to find the perfect pieces or, you know, whatever. But, okay. Let's see. You know what I'm going to do this time is cut. I'm going to cut this about, how wide were these? 3/4 of an inch. So let's cut this 3/4 of an inch and then stamp on it. I think I'll get a better, I'll be happier with it. It won't be, well, it might be crooked, but okay. Actually, this one, since I put white background, that kind of blends in. I thought I had a piece of sage here. That's the same color. Oh, I can use the back side. I'm going to use maybe the backs. Well, I think I'm going to just use the white. Okay, what sentiment should we use for this one? Remember, the sentiments were you've been on my mind, just for you, you're the best, treat yourself, you deserve all the good stuff, and birthday for the books. I think I'm going to do you deserve all the good stuff, because this is all good stuff, right? Or you could say happy birthday, or, you know, whatever you want. This is in the new, this is the new packaging, the new Stampin' Up packaging. What do you guys think about that? I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to organize all my stuff. Okay, I want to stamp this in espresso. I think I did actually bring espresso over here. Hey, speaking of this, did you see the new Stampin' Up ink pads? They're going to be transitioning to these ones. The magnetic. Let me transition into this. From what I hear, when the new catalog comes out and the new 2026, 2028 colors come out, those ones are going to be in the new style. And then after that, they're going to slowly roll out the other ones. And I think maybe in the 2027 catalog, they will all be the new design. But the old ones will all still work. But yeah, they're coming. They're coming starting next year. So basically, the new in colors will be in the new design, and then I think as they run out of the other ones, they're going to do the new design. Okay, for these ones, I'm just going to do the dovetailing so you can see what I did. So who's looking forward to the new designs? Let me know if you're looking for the new designs. You know what? I'm going to rub this on the ink pad just to get a little bit of that color. If I had my finger daubers out, I would definitely be using my finger daubers, but we'll just go with that. Okay, and let's pop that up. Oh, here's the... Okay. Oh, you are right. That was not planned. The espresso was not planned. But you're right. It makes me look like a genius, doesn't it? But, you know, I'm not. So sorry. Okay, let's put some gems. And I think on this one, why don't we put the clear ones? I think that'll be fun. Well, let's see, one more. There. Now, if you want to sign your card, like I said, you could, I think, if you put a white here, or what you could do is, I mean, you could adhere this to the back. It's not going to change the design, so you could tape this all the way to the top of the card and then put a white, you know, square there. Let me see. I'm not going to do it, but I will show you what I'm talking about. Let's see, just make this 4 by 4 1/4. No, yeah, 4 by 4 1/4. So if you adhered that down, you could, you know, you could put something like this. And why don't we do that? Just so I can show you, but I can't really do that right now, but I'll add maybe a little bit of adhesive like this. This is not how you would do it, guys. Do it before you get to this point. Okay, but adhere it down like that, and then adhere this down. I would stamp on it before you put it on there. If you're going to stamp, let's stamp happy birthday. Okay, let's see. Let's just do this quickly here. I think that's... Okay. You know, it would have been better on the other one. Instead of doing the cake, I could have done the pie, and then pecan pie really would have been the right choice. Okay, this is an old stamp, close to my heart one, but I love it. I use it so much for my happy birthdays. Okay. And then actually, if you do it like that, you kind of cover the fact that it's a faux card. So if you want to, you could do that, right? Okay, so here are the cards that we've made. Oh, let me share the link. I do have a resource with all of this info. Okay, so that has all of the products that I used on these cards. Yeah, I'm happy that they're going to the magnetic. I haven't really purchased many of the old Stampin' Up style or the current Stampin' Up style big ink pads. I have the 2027 ink colors. I did buy that set last year at the convention. And then I got Mossy Meadow in the, they have like a consultant craft together. And I bought the package, and the package came with the Mossy Meadow. So I do have Mossy Meadow and then the 2025, 2027 ink colors in the Stampin' Up style, but I have been waiting to purchase the new ones to, you know, until because I knew they were coming out with these. But, okay, here they are. Like I said, I think this one's my favorite with the living room set and the plant. I really like that one, although I like the book one too. I really like this one. I did on this one ink blend a little bit of yellow on the back. Like it's like the bulb is shining. This one's cute. I love that. I like the espresso. And then this one's cute too. So, Okay. Next week we are going to do the Exploring Nature scrapbook layout. So we're going to be making this layout. This is the left-hand side, and then this is the right-hand side. I've got my camera zoomed in pretty tight so I could do the cards, but this is what we're making next week. But it's a great layout that you can make with, any papers. So it's just a nice design. Okay, well, thanks everybody for joining me today. I hope to see you next week to make the scrapbook layout, and then my YouTube hop video on the monochromatic card. I'm calling this my embossed quilt card, something like that. Embossed quilted card. I don't remember what I named it, but something like that, because you can see it's embossed like it's quilted. So this is my YouTube hop video next week. Okay, so I will see you next week. Thanks for joining me. Bye.